Shalom Yasharallah, giving all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We will continue on. Are you ready for these end times? They're looking right at us. You know, it's just a matter of us being prepared for what it is that it's getting ready to go down. We're going to look at Isaiah, the 19th chapter, and verse 2 and 3. Isaiah 19. And verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Hear what he say? He's going to set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. As far as I'm concerned, the Egyptians are the captors, the ones that have us in captivity. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. They talking about a civil war. They shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city after city, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Musa said this is what he said he's going to do. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. The spirit of Egypt, the spirit of our captors, their councils, things that they have in their United Nations and different meetings that they have, he says, shall fail in the midst thereof. And I will destroy the counsel thereof. Hear what he said? And I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols. They're going to seek to their idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. So why is he saying that this is what they're going to seek counsel after? Because Psalm 96 and 5 says, for all the gods of the nations are idols. He said he's going to seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits, to the wizards, right? So look at, hold that. We'll come back there. Go to Isaiah 47. The Most High said this. In Isaiah 47 and 10. But thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me, nobody see me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. They didn't say they, I am. They're the Most High. They're Mashiach Yahushai. They're the Israelites. They're everybody of the Bible. And none else beside me, because they're the ones that have the pictures of themselves in the Bible. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it rises. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So you don't know when it's coming. Now listen what the Most High say now. Remember, it tells you, it told us what? In Isaiah 19 and 3, they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. Most I tell them, said, Isaiah 47 and 12, he says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, always trusted in this. If so be thou may be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. That's dried up like tumbleweeds. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall it be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants, from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee. Whew. When they see this, when they see the smoke of America burning, and the things that's getting ready to go down, that the Most High ordaining to happen, we'll tell you, look, Revelation 18th chapter, because Revelation 18th chapter go with Isaiah 47th chapter. They coincide. Revelation 18 and verse 7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow. Ain't nobody came and invaded me. And shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, like stubble, he said. For strong is the Most High power who judges her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her. They'll be crying over her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, that great city Babylon, that great city of America, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is that judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise anymore. See? Verse 17, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and the sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? What city is like unto America? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. See? It says, And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom, husbands getting married, and of the bride, wives getting married, shall be heard no more at all in her, in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. You hear that? By the sorceries were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. I'm going to put it all on them. So going back to Isaiah 19, jumping to verse 16. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Most High of hosts, which he shaketh over it. It'll be like women. Jump down to verse 20. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Most High of hosts in the land of Egypt, the land of our captivity, for they shall cry unto the Most High because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a Savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them. That's solution right there. You ain't never heard a solution? That's a solution right there. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Most High of hosts in the land of Egypt, in our captivity. For they shall cry unto the Most High because of the oppressors. Because of the oppressors. It's the solution. We cry to the Most High because of our oppressors, and he shall send them a Savior, a Mashiach Yahushua, coming to judge and make war. And a great one, and he shall deliver them. And the Most High shall be known into Egypt. And the Egyptians shall know that the Most High in that day, and shall do sacrifice and oblation. Yeah, they shall vow a vow unto the Most High and perform it. And the Most High shall smite Egypt. He shall smite and heal it. And they shall return even to the Most High, and he shall be entreated of them and shall heal them. Because you're like looking at our people. These are the ones that call themselves Gentiles. And they caught in the captors. They caught into the mindset of the captors. In that day shall there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrians shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. I mean, because who went into Assyrian captivity? 9 tribes went to the Egyptian captivity, all of us, but came into the main ones that came here to America was Judah, Benjamin, Levi. This is our Egypt. But it's all 12 tribes were oppressed together right here until this day. Don't get it twisted. So that's why, they're not going to be able, that's letting you know that they're not going to be able to do the things that we would do. But our mindset, though, that's why I say, come out of her, my people, that you don't receive of her plagues that the Most High is going to bring upon this place. Her sins, we're not supposed to be doing the things that they do. We're supposed to set ourselves apart and be righteous and follow the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, that we can be righteous in the eyes of the Most High. Look at Isaiah 13 and 14. It said, it shall be as a chase road. They're going to be like a chase road, talking about Babylon. When you look at verse 1, the burden of Babylon, Babal means confusion, talking about America. And it shall be a chase, like a chase road. And as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people. Everybody going to turn to their own people, their own nation, and flee everyone into his own land. They're going to flee everyone into their own land. They're going to get up out of here. They're going to go back into their own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Everyone that's found in this future prophecy is going to be killed. It's going to be thrust through, he said. And everyone that is joined to them shall fall by the sword. So they married to them. Because understand this. And it's not something that I'm just, coming off the top of my head saying, because the Most High made us so that we would separate, from all nations. He didn't want us to. He gave everybody their own woman. Every man his own woman. Look, go to Deuteronomy 7 and 3. 7 and 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. This is why. For they will turn away thy son from following me. Because like I told you, all the gods of the nations are idols. Psalm 96 and 5. So you say, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. That's what happened with Solomon. He got in an older age and he started making temples and idol temples to these other nations. These other nations that he was married to, the women of these other nations. So that's why he's saying all them that are joined to them going to fall by the sword. That's why Mashiach Shai, when he come in Matthew 25th chapter, say he's going to put the sheep on his right hand and the goats on the left. I'm telling you, those that joined to them going to fall by the sword. He say, why he's going to separate all the nations if we're supposed to be integrated? And that's who you believe in. You're supposed to believe in them. Most of you, that's the only one you know. So, I mean, I turn the page, go right there. That's something to say. When the Son of Man, this is Matthew 25:31, when the Son of Man shall come into his glory, and all the holy angels with him. Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. He's going to be coming in this superpower that he's going to have, that the Most High is giving him. Like I say, he's going to send a Savior. That's him. He coming. That's what I'm saying. There he is. And before him shall be gathered all nations, all these different nations that we have on this earth. And he shall separate them one from another. Why are you going to separate the nations one from another if we all could be together? And you can do whatever you want to do, as long as you feel good. As long as it feels good to you, you can do whatever you want to do, if that's right. He going to separate all the nations one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Who's the sheep? He said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now the goats is not only representing the Edomites, but it's representing the mindset of this system that is set up, that have you be joined unto it to fulfill what it says in Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. It's future prophecy. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. See, shall fall by the sword. He said, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Like our children were dashed to pieces before our eyes. You stay on, you stay listening, you're going to see. I'll show you the proof. This is judgment. And like it says, you know what I mean? No matter how you look at it, I look at it, anyone else look at it, it is what it is. I mean, the Most High is fair. Galatians 6 and 7. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. He ain't mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So what they sow, you're going to see what they sow. As we go through these scriptures and go through our story and his story, he's going to tell you himself what he done. You don't have to hear it from me. He's going to tell you himself what he done. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So whatever you do, you think you're getting away with it, you're going to reap the same. The Most High is saying, Colossians 3:25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons. Most High don't care about no individuals. He care about, Most High deal with nations. Going back to Isaiah 13. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, houses are going to be robbed, and their wives ravished. The wives ravished. He said, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. They don't care. You can't buy your way out of this. And you can't buy just the Persians, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. You can't buy your way out of this. Most High is telling you. Their bows, that's the arrows, that's the missiles, also shall dash the young men to pieces. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. They will have no pity on a pregnant woman. Their eyes shall not spare children. You hear that? Their eyes shall not spare children. This is a spirit that the Most High going to put on them to fulfill his word. As he put a spirit on Esau to fulfill his word of what he told us, what he was going to do to us if we ain't follow his laws, statutes, commandments. And all the other nations that put us in captivity, slavery, and bondage. If we didn't follow his commandments, he going to raise them up. He rose them up. Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. In Babylon, which represents America today, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, that's why Most High called it the virgin daughter of Babylon, and the daughter of the Chaldees. because their customs are like the Egyptians and the Babylonians and so forth. In Babylon, America, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And what did he do? He rained down fire and brimstone on them cities. Something he rained down, but he left the shape of them right there. Just covered them up. Just burned them up and covered them up. Left something like sulfur or some type of material that still burns today. But it's going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited. Hear this? It shall never be inhabited. Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. You hear that? Ain't no Arabians going to pitch tent there. Ain't no shepherds going to make their fold there. What's going to be there? But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and Saturn shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses. Houses are going to be desolate, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, Salakia. And her time is near to come. You hear that? Her time is near to come, y'all. And her days shall not be prolonged. That's why the Most High told us, when you understand, say her time is near to come. As you see, you ride around, you see America pretty much shutting down. Why you got to prepare yourself. Job 20:4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth? Job 20:4. That the triumphing of the wicked is short. Triumphing of the wicked is short. And the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. There was actually a mount up to the heavens. We got a space station up in the sky, and the space shuttle's going to the space station up in the sky, and there's jets flying everywhere, and all the other things he done created. There was actually mount up to the heavens, and his head reached up unto the clouds. Yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Where'd he go? Where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Remember to say they're going to be like a what? Chased deer. We just read that. Be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more. Neither shall his place, like America and all the places that they possess, they got the fatness of the world. Neither shall his place any more behold him. See? So, it says his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hand shall restore their goods. So, that's your reparations right there. Yasharallah. Look at Isaiah 54:14. Isaiah 54:14. In righteousness shalt thou be established, Yasharallah. Thou shalt be far from oppression. Hear that? We're going to be far from oppression. Ain't going to be no more oppressor. Going to be far from oppression. But thou shalt not fear. No more being scared, afraid, and from terror. And thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near thee. Behold, they shall surely gather together. The Most High going to do this. He going to make us ever say, why we can't come together? Most High say, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Hear what he say? But not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee, Yasharallah, 12 tribes of Israel, shall fall for thy sake. If they come together, make up their plans to come against us, they're going to fall for our sake. Behold, I have created the smith that blow up the coals in the fire. You blow on the fire, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. He said, behold, I have created the smith that blow up the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. He's He's blowing on that fire, and he has put that steel in there and shape it as it's red hot for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. I mean, look, who's the waster? I mean, the air is polluted, the water's polluted, the people's minds polluted, the food's polluted, you name it. So he created the waster to destroy. That's why I say, no weapon that is formed against thee, Yasharallah, 12 tribes of Israel, shall prosper. Those that are keeping the commandments of the Most High, fearing the Most High, crying to the Most High, for all the abominations that be done and the wickedness that be done on this earth. Having faith in the Most High. Wow, Mashiach Yahushua. It says, listen, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Most High, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Most High. You hear that? So, that's what I say. This is the heritage of the servants of the Most High. Who are they? Who the servants of the Most High? Well, I'm a servant of the Most High because I believe in Jesus. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't really think so. Isaiah 44 and 21. Who's the servants of the Most High? Remember these, O Jacob and Israel. Clear as day. For thou art my servant. That's the servants of the Most High. That's who he's talking to. Without a shadow of a doubt. See, when you understand what has been done, and it's like swept under the rug, like, oh, that didn't happen. Oh, yes, we going through these scriptures, you're going to see a lot has happened that we can really bring forth to life in your face, everyone's face. Listen, Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, those are those that, only way you righteous if you, let's look at it. Just prove it. You ought to be saying it. Deuteronomy 6:25. This is how you be righteous. Deuteronomy 6:25. And you Christians out there, you really should be listening to this. Say, and it shall be our righteousness. How? And when? If we observe to do, not to just run your mouth, but to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he have commanded us. He ordered us to keep his commandments. That's how you're righteous. That's why going back to Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Who the wicked? Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, when, who is he? Who did that? Until this day. I mean, I show you all the time. I ain't got to go too far to show you. Here it is right here. Cover the face of the judges thereof, if not, when, who is he? That's 5 people in that picture. The Borgia family, called the Borgias. 5 people in that picture. Cover the faces of the judges thereof, if not, when, who is he? On Showtime, called him the first crime family. He covered the faces of the judges. Mashiach Shai tell you in Revelation 19:11, he coming to judge and make war. Here you go, you done painting him as a so-called white man. This man's name is Caesar Borgia. 6th son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. The son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. That was him in this picture I just showed you right here. Here you go, right here, in the middle right there. See him right there? That's him right there. And that's Rodrigo Borgia.
These
right
came
there.
back from a search.
That's Rodrigo Borgia right there. On the You know, the father sit at the head of the table. That's him right there, sitting at the head of the table. All this time, I can't understand how all this time people don't look at that picture to see that there's only 5 people in that picture. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, be happy. Because you have moral laws. You have a proper moral character that you're going to operate in judgment, judging all things. And you're going to have mercy and grace. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. When the wicked beareth rule, the people go be mourning. Look at 1 Thessalonians 5:3. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. That's why there's so much tension on this earth, because the wicked are ruling. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child. That's why you look at a lot of times, more and more, as time goes by, you see there's not that much time that goes by before something's happening. Some kind of disaster happens, some kind of major shooting, some type of hurricane, fires, and tornadoes, and you name it, it's always happening. Back to back to back to back. Something's always happening in the news. What's going on today? Bam. Something's happening today. What's happening tomorrow? You know something going to happen. Whereas used to, you have to wait a long time. You know, a woman in travail, it's like a woman having contractions, having a baby. The contractions are far apart. It used to be a long time before anything happened. Now, what happened today? Somewhere our people are saying this happened with social media. We're seeing something happen all the time, more so than any time in this world. Well, we know what time we in. That's why it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child. Like a woman having a contraction, they be far apart and get closer and closer and closer. That's where we're at now. Where these contractions of a woman is real close together, back to back to back to back. Like you see all this destruction happening back to back to back to back. You're talking about peace, ain't no peace. All this stuff is happening back to back to back, real close to each other. Day after day. It's going to get down to hours. They're going to get down to minutes. You understand? That's what he's saying. Then that baby is born. And that's how it's going to be with us. We're going to be born as a nation in a righteous kingdom. Those that have the right spirit, but you got to understand. He said, and they shall not escape. You hear that? And they shall not escape from what? Sudden destruction cometh upon them, and they shall not escape. You ain't getting away from this. That's why it behooves you to come back to this truth. People gonna be wondering what to do. What should I do? What should I do? It's gonna be too late then. It's gonna be too late. I'm telling you. Been warning. I hear people say, "Oh, I see what you said. It's coming to be." It was the truth. What you think? Oh, you didn't believe it, huh? People don't have faith. But as you see it happen more and more and more, oh yeah, people gonna recognize. Go to Amos, the 9th chapter. Book of Amos, the 9th chapter. In verse 8. It said, behold, the eyes of the Most High power are upon the sinful kingdom. That sinful kingdom is America. That sinful kingdom and all kingdoms that's joined to them and operating in their sins. A sinful kingdom. Sin is a transgression of the Most High's laws. Talk to people in these religions. You're not under the law. You're under mercy and grace. So what you telling them? You ain't got to follow the Most High. You ain't got to listen to him. Listen to me. What they say. We got to follow the law of the land, right? The law of the land say you got to follow the Most High. The law of the land say you got to follow my laws. They came with their penal codes and so forth, and they hold the Bible up. A lot of times they swear on the Bible, but certain things that these laws that they pass is against the word of the Most High, the laws of the Most High. That's why the Most High said, behold, the eyes of the Most High are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, as we just read. Saving, he will save somebody, that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Most High. Who live in a house? Family. The family of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. 1/3. Gonna let you know in this next verse. For lo, I will command the angels, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. Because he scatters among all nations for breaking his laws, statutes, commandments. Like as corn is sifted in the sea. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. That least is the 1/3, as you hear us say all the time, of the 12 tribes of Israel. The least grain shall not fall upon the earth. Right? So we got to prove to hold that. We got to prove that 1/3. Go to Zechariah, the 13th chapter, and the 8th verse. Zechariah, the 13th chapter, the 8th verse. And it shall come to pass in the future that in all the land, we scattered among all these nations, lands, said the Most High, two parts therein shall be cut off and die. So that's 2/3 going to be cut off and die. But the 1/3 shall be left therein. 1/3 could be left therein. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire. You're going to bring us through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined. Now the fire represents what? First and foremost, Jeremiah 23 and 19. Behold, no, Salakia. Let me see. Is not my word like as a fire? It's like that was that's coming though. Believe that. I guess I gotta read that in the spirit. It says, is not my word like as a fire, said the Most High, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Let me go to that verse 19. It said, behold, the whirlwind of the Most High has gone forth in fury. That's a lot of destruction from the Most High. Even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. So in the spirit speaking expressly, I got to go with it. You know, the anger of the Most High shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. Remember? The thoughts of his mind. Just what he say he going to do. In the latter days, we're the last days, y'all. Ye shall consider it perfectly. Hallelujah. I give all praise and glory to the Most High, because he threw that one in there, because I know I hadn't planned it. I was just going in to show y'all the fire. One part of the fire, right? Because he said, look. That's pretty deep. Going back to Zechariah, it's pretty deep. If y'all understood, it could be in my mind to see where certain things is what I'm dealing with and lining things up in the spirit as I ask the Most High to bring forth the spirit is something. So he said, going back to Amos, ninth chapter. Amos 9 and 9, he says, "For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like corn is sifted of the sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." You see that? The least is that 1/3 we just read about. So you're going to bring them through the fire, right? And confine and refine them as silver is refined, right? So also, when you look at Isaiah 48 and 10, "Behold, I have refined thee," changed us, "but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction." So people come into this truth, they think it's going to be all roses and everything going to be all smooth, and no, it's not like that. He said, "I've chosen you in the furnace of affliction." This is what he say. "For mine own sake, even for mine own sake, will I do it." You know what he said? You got to go through this affliction. That's why when you see, "Bear your cross, bear your affliction." That's what that cross means. They didn't hang him on the cross. They hung him on a tree. But the affliction that he went through is what we got to deal with. That's why it says, "For mine own sake," Most High said, verse 11, "even for my own sake will I do it, for how should my name be polluted? And I will not give my glory unto another." He can give his glory unto another. That's what Mashiach Shai said. He's his glory. He said, hey, Matthew 15:24, "But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Matthew 1:21, "And she shall bring forth a son, and he shall call his name Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins." I mean, it is what it is, y'all. So, yeah, we're going to be dipped in that fiery furnace of affliction. But he's never given us more than we can handle or bear, he said. So we just got to deal with it. You'll be all right. You make it through. Got to man up. That's what he said. Zechariah 13, 9. Zechariah 13 and 9. "I will bring the third part through the fire, and refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people," the 12 tribes of Israel, 1/3, mind you. "And they shall say, the Most High is my power." Gonna say that. No, he got us, as we hear, look what he says in Zechariah 14 and 13. "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High ordained that a great tumult, uproar from the Most High, coming from the Most High, shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Thus say the Most High." See. "And in the end, and Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem,